Welcome back, everyone. It is Wednesday, July 23rd, and the MLB, our two are on the way. As always, we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Let's recap yesterday. It was another 1-in-1 day. That's back to back. I cashed my play Scherzer's over and earned runs. That was sweat free cash in the first inning. Then we had some runs in that Rockies game. Logan's Angels Mets over 9 just could not get the timely hits. I don't know how many hits the Angels had. 12. Only managed to get 2 runs. Tough beat there. Mets offense didn't do a whole lot. Didn't really need to because the Mets or the Angels refused to get timely hits. But let's talk about some winning things. That would be Dinger Tuesday. We had Dinger Tuesday yesterday. Of course, we asked you guys to comment down below. Not a lot of home run hitters. I think only like 25. A lot of lesser known guys, but we picked 2 people that called the winner down below. First one, square, Kyle Raleigh. He is due, and that he was. He hit a homer yesterday. Brandon Cousins, 4063. That's you. You won $25. And our second one, Jose Ramirez. Now, they did say Mangardo, but man, I don't think Manzardo hit one, but Jose Ramirez did go back to back. Great call on that, Nathan Skeen, 5865. Those are the Tuesday winners. We also cashed our chalkboard slip. And normally, since we're reducing our plays right now, only 2 plays in this video, I haven't posted some chalkboard slips where I try to include a couple other props that I looked at, but I don't really want to force 4 or 5 picks onto the card. So again, you can find that on our Twitter or X at Call on Our Shot. Again, if you are new to chalkboard, if it's in your state, use code COS. You'll get a 100% deposit match up to $100 plus a free pick. So if it's in your state, like it is on the screen, go take advantage. But I'm going to lead things off with my pick. Then we'll go to Logan. Let's dive in. Now, mine's going to be a little bit weird. There's an easy pivot because there was an earned runs prop I looked at. It's a little bit too juiced. So instead, I'll ask both teams to do something. And that'll be this game. Yankees and Blue Jays, both teams to score 2 or more runs in the first 7 innings, minus 115 on DraftKings. Now, I looked at actually taking this for the first 5. That is plus 185. So if you're looking for some good plus money, you can take that. I liked it. I almost played a quarter unit on it, but I'd rather just limit our units out there a little bit. But I do like that one a ton. Now, my people out there would be taking this and just taking Max Fried's over and earned runs, which is 1.5. However, like Scherzer yesterday, he's right around minus 155 today. So, I could get there, but I also want to fade Chris Bassett as well. So I'll do the 2+ first 7. Technically, they might not all come off the starters, and technically we can afford some errors, which the defense is certainly capable of doing that these days. But I rather go 2+ runs for 7. This is something you can bet on DraftKings, something you can bet on BetMGM. FanDuel betters only. I don't have a great pivot for y'all. You could take an alt first 5 over. I do think that there's runs in this first 5. Now, technically, there could be 2 from each side and still not cash the first 5 over at 4.5. But I do runs. Let's talk about this matchup, though. We'll talk about Max Fried first, who, like I said, was the first guy I wanted to fade over 1.5 earned runs. We've talked about this Blue Jays offense. They are an incredibly tough matchup against any lefty that comes their way. We saw that with Carlos Rodon earlier this series. We should see it once again with Max Fried, who has already faced this team back on July 1st or June 30th, something like that. July 3rd, I think. Either way, they got 4 runs off of him, and he only gave up 3 hits, but they were managed to get 4 runs. I think they get some more hits today. 10 straight lefties have allowed at least 2 runs against Toronto, and that has included away games where their offense hasn't been nearly as good against lefties, but still pretty dang good. They're a top 5 offense at home versus lefties. I think they're able to get at least something going on Fried. Was great to start the year, but he's slowly starting to slip a little bit. We've seen his last 7 starts allowed 2 or more runs and 6 of 7. Last 3 entering the break, 3 or more runs. So again, I think they're able to get something off of Max Fried. And then you're asking for some runs off Chris Bassett. Now, we took under and earned runs in his most recent start against the Giants, and he went out there and gave up 10 hits. He didn't give a single run. But if you're not giving up 10 hits at home, I can fade him. We've seen him have 2 starts versus the Yankees this year, 4 and 3 earned runs. They saw him on July 3rd. That's when they got 3 earned runs off of him. I think they had 8 hits, 3 walks. So many more runs could have been out there. Now this will be the 3rd straight righty they've seen in this series. Saw Kevin Gausman. Who'd they see yesterday? Can't think of his name off the top of my head. And then they're going to see no, how can I not think of his name? Yeah, man, it's blanking on the off the top of my head. But again, 19 of the last 23 righties to face the Yankees have allowed at least 2 runs. Oh, it's Max Scherzer. We took his over and earned runs. I don't know why that's blanking on me. But again, this is a huge divisional game. We know how tight this division race is. I expect some competitive ABs. The Yankees have tomorrow off, so they don't really have to worry a ton about getting on a plane and traveling tonight. So again, this has been Yankees offense top 5 in the righties this season and as of late. So again, this market hasn't been the best to us this season, but I feel pretty good about this one. Both teams have scored 2 or more in the first 7. We could do it on the starters, which, like I said, could cash in the first 5, or we could get it on the bullpens, which we've seen plenty of these bullpen arms so far in this series. So my favorite pick, Yankees, Blue Jays, both 2+ runs in the 7 innings. I'll talk about a lean at the end of the video, but I need to throw it over to my boy Logan, who is in desperate need of a winner. I think he's cooked up one today. Cena, the crime pick. Logan, take it away.
Yeah, yesterday was brutal. Not gonna lie, but here I am back on that same train, taking the Angels and Mets over 8.5, -120 odds on BetMGM is your best value. Yeah, you know what, guys, when you hit a little bit of cold spell in baseball, what I always recommend is just going back to the pick you lost the day before and just running it back. We saw that with Marlins. I lost them on the money line game 1 of the series. What did they do yesterday? They won. Of course, that's just how this sport works. It's very frustrating. You have to be vigilant. And I really do like the over today. Yesterday was a kind of weird game. You know, Austin touched on it in the recap. Angels got a ton of hits, just not a whole lot of runs to show for it. After yesterday went under, I'm breaking the day early trend. And once again, it will go over today. It will be over, under, over, under. Yes. Let's talk about who starts for the Mets today. It's going to be Sean Manaea, the lefty. 2.45 ERA, 1.09 whip. Pretty solid numbers if you look ERA-wise for Sean Manaea. But again, he's been great in a small sample size. I mean, this guy's just fresh back from injury, only a couple starts under his belt. He has a very tough matchup versus the Angels today. In July, the Angels are hitting 262 versus lefties. And in their last 5 games, they're hitting 306 versus lefties. Why do I bring up those stats, especially as of late? Because they did a really good job at hitting Ranger Suarez, and that was an impressive, one for me. Because we remember I had the first 500. That's a no chance in that Phillies game, because the Angels came and every mistake that Ranger Suarez made, they were on him. They were seeing lefties so well recently, and that's why I want to capitalize on that today. We saw with Sean Manaea too. He's yet to pitch past 4 innings in 2 outings. So in the games he started, the bullpen's been called in early. And yesterday, again, baseball's weird because the bullpens, they didn't really get runs late yesterday. All the runs came in the first 5. But if you give me a lot of bullpen exposure today, I see a lot of run opportunities, and I'm kind of hinting on bullpen exposure because, once again, the Angels, look at the Angels starter. It's going to be Brock Burke starting for the Angels, 3.38 ERA and a 1.35 whip for Brock Burke. He's making his first start this season as an opener, but he's likely, not going to go past 1 inning. He'll probably just open the game and then turn it over to the bullpen. And again, I'm not going to try to forecast who starts for or who comes in after him. Again, that's up to the manager. But really, what I know is behind him, the Mets will have to get to a mediocre Angels bullpen. Let's compare these 2 bullpens. In July, the Mets are 18th in bullpen ERA at a 4.42. Angels are 20th in bullpen at a 4.78. So I look at last night and I say, well, the bullpens performed well. But that just means tonight they're due. Well, actually, this afternoon, because it's an early game. This afternoon they're due some early runs, and I could definitely see that because both these 2 starters, what they won't give you is length. So we're gonna get a lot of innings of bullpen arms. And when you're picking an over, I like overs in bullpen games. Some people can disagree with that, but I like overs in bullpen games because all it takes is one bad bullpen pitcher to come in and really just not have it. And because you're just putting a new guy in almost every inning. And if he doesn't have it, maybe a couple walks, and then that's how you get the big inning. And that's how we chip away at this over and get a lot of runs. I really do like this as my favorite pick of the day. Hopefully the whole run it back after a loss strategy does work in this one. I think it's a great position to do so today, and we're going to hopefully cash that bet. Austin, I know you had a lean, though. What were you wanting to talk about?
Yeah, I'll talk about a lean. I looked at 2. I almost backed Nick Lodolo, but the Nationals have somehow owned that, man. And we do need a win from the Reds today for our future. But actually, a pick I really liked was some runs in that Padres-Marlins game. It's an early start. We've kind of seen 2 snooze fests early. But when we're talking about Dylan Cease on the road, we've talked about him before, really can't somehow pitch with runners in scoring position. I see the Marlins offense waking up today. And as for the Padres, their offense hasn't been great against righties. But Sandy Alcantara, man, he has really, really struggled. I mean, what does he have, a 7 ERA? We're almost at the end of July and still a 7 ERA. You don't just get that in one start. He's been bad. Padres have seen before and hit him. I could see maybe some runs coming early in that game where one of those two starters could easily give up 5 by themselves. So I like a first 5 over. A full game, I don't mind it, but we've talked about earlier in this series, in that series specifically, the bullpens have been pretty dang good. Padres, top 5 bullpen. Marlins, top 5 in July. So not sure I'd go full game there, but I do like first 5 there. Looking at the other games, I almost did Bailey Falters under and hits allowed. That's 5.5 plus money. I don't mind that. Tigers really struggling against lefties, so another one that I don't mind. You're seeing some wind blowing out of the Royals and Cubs game. I think Seth Lugo with a 3.5 earned runs line, so probably some runs to be seen there. I think Quinn Priester, a guy, if you're looking for maybe a guy to fade, he's coming off that crazy start against the Dodgers, 6 innings pitched, 10 Ks. I could see something getting roughed up there. Just some things I was looking at. Overall, I like my one pick. Almost did Zach Eflin's under and earned runs, but I'm going to have to see it to believe it from him. A return back from injury. We'll see if the injury was really hindering him or if he's just plain bad. We'll figure that out. Our 2 picks, like I said at the top of the show, we have the Toronto Blue Jays and Yankees, both 2+ first 7. You can do it first 5 if you're looking for some value. And we have the Angels and Mets over 8.5 in that game. Those are our 2 picks. Let's try to go 2-0. And then we'll see you guys back tomorrow with some more picks. Hopefully recapping a 2-0 day. Let's get it done. And we'll see you guys back again tomorrow with some more picks. See you guys then. Peace out.